My name is Gregor von Laschewski, and I introduce you today how GitHub pull requests work on a Hugo website. The website is located in the organization cybertraining-dsc. Here is the name, it's cybertraining-dsc.github.io. First, I need to be making sure that I create a fork into my own user account. That user account is Laschewsk. Here I create now the fork, and the fork is initiated, and the content from the original directory is being copied over to me. And here you can see now my directory, which is forked from the origin where I actually got it from. So in order for me to make modifications, I have to check out this particular repository. I have chosen to use SSH. You can also use HTTPS if you prefer that. I create a directory. I go to that directory and clone into that directory that fork that I have created into my own user environment. I use my password, and here you can see the fork is being initiated, and I have now a local copy of that particular directory. I go into that directory and want to make now some modifications. You can use any editor of your choice. I use Emacs because it has wonderful features for Markdown and other ways, such as, for example, seeing the directory tree, and I can go through the directory tree and go to a file that I would like to have. In Hugo, the contents are under the content directory, and there I have located a file that I want to modify. Here I say Gregor was here in that particular file and save it. Now I need to be creating the Hugo website locally. I assume you have Hugo installed, and once you have installed it, you can start it from that directory as Hugo server. And that starts the website in a particular location on port 1313. And that is the default port. So let's just go to that particular port and paste and copy that location. And here you can see how this particular website looks like. Let's just visit the file that I've modified. That's under courses and data science, under science. Let's make a change to it to showcase how fast the changes can actually populate locally, because Hugo server is still running, and whenever an update is being done, it's been automatically populated. As you can see, this is super fast. Let's make a modification. Here, correct some spelling errors, and as you can see, it is immediately over there. This naturally assumes that you have a reasonably up-to-date computer. Make sure you have maybe an SSD in your thing, have enough RAM, and the processor speed is fast enough. So let's now and take another look on our website, and let's make sure that we put it into the GitHub repository. Remember, we have 3 repositories. One, the local checked out one, that shows here where the changes have taken place. I need to commit the changes to my local repository. I use a git commit message here, and let's put some useful message in here. And after I've done the commit message, I have to push the repository changes from my local machine to the GitHub repository. That's happening with the git push command. This is then updated into the Laschewsk fork. And here I need to be adding again the password. And as I multiple times may do that, I use SSH add to add my password so that I don't have to constantly do this. Let's verify if the content is actually in my local, in my copy, in my forked copy on GitHub. It's already in my local copy. But now let's take a look if it's in the GitHub repository that I forked. And as you can see here above general material, there is indeed the text that we have typed in. So this is all good. And but remember, it is not yet in the origin from which we have forked this particular directory. In order for that to take place, we need to be creating a pull request. So if we go, for example, to the to that original directory, let's now verify if that particular code is being there just to make sure. So we naturally need to be going to the correct file. This is the wrong file. Let's go to the correct file. And here we see the changes have not taken place. So although the changes are in Lashevsk, but they are not in cybertraining-dsc. So in order to do this, we need to go back to our directory. And we see there's a change. And there's a tab up there when we go to cybertraining-dsc-github.io for Lashevsk. That is called pull requests. We create now a new pull request. And in that, we get now a form that verifies from where to where we want to copy things. And it shows us the differences between what's in the master repository, if you so want, versus what we have in our forked repository. We can see here the green areas that have changed. So we create now the pull request, and we will be introducing now a useful commit message that is communicated to the maintainer of the other repository, of the original repository, so that he can assess if we need to be accepting that particular message or review it. So a pull request has been created, and this is where your work actually stops. Here's where now my work as maintainer starts. You don't actually have to do this. I have to commit the particular pull request into the cybertraining.dsc directory on or repository on GitHub. So I can then review again the changes that you have made. As you can see, I see the same green blocks that you have created. And this is also the reason why it's important to have small pull requests, many small pull requests other than one big pull request, because the likelihood that you make a mistake is bigger. This allows me to easily and quickly merge the pull requests into that original repository from which you have forked. Now, let's verify if there are still pull requests outstanding. As you can see, I have resolved that particular pull request and it is merged. If you want to see past pull requests, you can just apply a different filter. And here you can actually see the merged pull request that we just did. So let's go to the website and let's take a look if that particular content is actually indeed committed. So we go to that file that we have changed. And as you can see, indeed, now it is there. So it is now on your local machine, on your fork copy, as well as the remote. Now, when we go to the website, which is created via GitHub Pages, we want to see if the change is there. Oh, it is not there. This should not be surprising because Hugo works in such a form that I have to create first the changes that have been committed. This is being done in another step, so it will take some time to do so. Currently, it's done interactively. In future, we may change this to use Netify or Travis, so that that change, when it's being committed by me and merged by me, that the change has been automatically communicated, but we haven't set this yet up. So please be patient. It may a day or may take a week to see a particular change. But again, you can create all of this stuff locally so that you can see what happens if that pull request would have been accepted. So there's no problem for you to continue to work with the newest versions. That was how we do Git pull requests. Thank you very much.